I'm Rob Skinner, and this is the Rob Skinner Podcast. Today, I'm going to talk about the power of faith to change your year and your life. All this and more on the Rob Skinner Podcast. My goal is to inspire you to live a no regrets life, make this life count, and multiply disciples, leaders, and churches. I hope you're having an amazing 2026 so far. And one of the things I want to talk about to make it great is the power of faith. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 9, verse 29, according to your faith, will it be done to you? Now, that's the passage where he's talking to the two blind men, and they come up and they say, please heal us. And he says, do you believe I'm able to do this? And they say, yes, we do. And he says, according to your faith, it will be done to you. That simple statement contains one of the most powerful truths in the Bible. And that's that our faith determines what God can and will do in our lives. And just think about that. Our faith level affects what God does. Faith sets a ceiling. It defines the horizon. It opens the door or keeps it shut at times. And so many times it's not that God is unwilling to move. Let's just be honest. It's because we've stopped believing that he will. Our thinking, our imagination, our creativity, our expectations, they all just set the boundaries. And if you think small, if you pray small and dream small, guess what? You're going to see very small results. But if you dare to think big, pray bold, and imagine God doing the impossible, then according to your faith, will it be done to you? We need to learn to be expansive in our thinking, in our capacity to believe what God is able to do, and in our conception of who God is and his unlimited power. We need to really push back against the constricting forces of this world that create cynicism, fear, and, look what's already happened and nothing's really happened. Faith isn't looking backward. It's always looking forward to what's possible, not back at what's failed. I'll never forget the summer of 1994. We were living in Tokyo, Japan. We had moved there in 1993. And the church leader was going in the month of July to plant a church in Ho Chi Minh City, formerly Saigon, in Vietnam. And so he talked to me and he said, hey, I'd like you to lead the church here in Tokyo while I'm gone. And I'm like, I'm fired up. I'm like, this is exciting. I'm just, totally pumped. I was like 28 or something like that. And I'm just like, this is exciting. But I got some really weird body language from him. It was weird. He was kind of like hesitating, and I'm like, what should have been so exciting? I just sensed something funny. I couldn't really put my finger on it. And I asked him, I said, listen, is something bothering you? Something troubling you? And then he looked at me and he said, I just don't know if you can do it. Okay, so here he went. First of all, he just says, hey, I want you to lead the church while I'm gone, which I'm pumped. And then he says, I don't think you can do it. And I was like, oh my gosh. Now, granted, he had planted this church about 5 years prior to that. It was his baby. He is and was an amazing church leader. But he had some doubts about whether I could do it. I mean, it's a foreign language. I don't speak Japanese very well at that point. I was only in the country for a little over a year. And when he said that, I nodded politely. Of course, I didn't blow up or anything. But inside, I was pretty mad. I was seething. I was just, oh boy. And I wouldn't say that I'm like the guy that gets real mad super easy or blows his top, just kind of one of those hot-headed people. But I was mad. There's just on the way home, because we didn't have a car at that point, I was venting to Pam, man. I was just, I can't believe he said that. And I just was so upset. I mean, poor Pam, she had to listen a lot that night. But his lack of faith in me produced kind of a paradoxical feeling of faith, a fire inside. And I know it's not good. It wasn't good for me to get mad or anything, but I don't know why. But all of a sudden, the fire of faith just like was ignited. And I know it was probably not the wrong motives initially. I'm sure there's a little bit of, I'll show him in my attitude. But even more than that, it really stirred my faith in what God could do. And the next morning, I woke up with a really crazy idea. I thought, let's baptize 31 people in 31 days in the month of July. Now, no one had ever done it before. This is the Mount Everest of mission fields. This is Tokyo, Japan. No one had even suggested it. No one had hinted like, hey, it'd be good for you to have a really amazing, let's have daily baptisms in July. But I feel like God just put it on my heart. I believed it. If we set our faith there, God could do it. And so we went after it. We pulled people together, the leaders, we prayed about it, we fasted, and just the passion was there, the purpose. And so day after day, we reached out, we studied the Bible with people, we watched people work, watched God work through people. And by the end of July, 1994, July 31st, 31 people had been baptized in the Tokyo Church of Christ. And that was awesome. When the senior minister came back from Vietnam in early August, I don't think he could believe it. He was a little shocked that this guy who he wondered if he could even lead it had baptized 31. And I was feeling pretty good. I was full of myself, of course, but I think it was a real verification or validation of what Jesus said. According to your faith, will it be done to you? And maybe you're facing something right now that looks impossible. Maybe someone's doubting you. Maybe someone say, no, you can't do that. That can't happen. Maybe there's a dream that you have that feels too big. Maybe this year you really want to do some big things for God, some big steps forward. You've set some goals like we talked about in a previous episode, and you're like, oh boy, that's really big. Maybe there's a relationship that you'd like to repair, but it seems too far gone, or a ministry goal that seems out of reach. Maybe you're trying to get things going and there's just not enough of something, which seems to be the case in many churches. Remember, your faith sets the limit on what God can do. So you need to stretch your imagination. Refuse to live small. Believe that God can still do immeasurably more than all you can ask or imagine. So today, expand your faith, lift your expectations, and watch what God will do according to your faith. Thanks for listening. Here's how you can help support the program. First, sign up for my weekly newsletter. I want to keep in better touch with the people that I'm talking to. And so go to robskinner.com and sign up for my newsletter. I send out a weekly email just to encourage people. And I'd love to just be in communication. It's been really cool. I've got emails from people. They sent me their goals. I got one from Matt Rupert, from Matt Flores, from Ben Nassauer, which was awesome. I got one from NECA. I got one from, just different people all over the country and the world. And it's so encouraging. I was like, I prayed over it and I'm excited about it. So, just get on my mailing list and let's keep in touch. And secondly, read my latest book, The 10X Christian, and let me know what you think about it. Read it. You can find it on Amazon.com or on my website. And then write a review, because that really helps people to find it. And so I really appreciate those who have read it and done a review for it. Because my goal is to inspire you to live a no regrets life, make this life count, and multiply disciples, leaders, and churches. Have a great day and make this life count.